your dream collab. I feel like you gotta ask every artist that. Dream collab.
I mean, my first thought is Jay, right? For real, my first thought is Jay.
Damn, you was just with Jay.
Nah, but we don't got no records together that's out.
I know, but they said whatever you want to do, we can do. You could have in the
I was
moment
with
instead of saying
No, I was with Tata.
Tata is main man.
I was with Tata. Jay gotta say that.
Okay.
No man can speak for another man. Jay gotta say that. Jay gotta be like, yo, whatever record you want to do, we could do. And I'm well aware. I watched the Rockefeller documentary in real time.
Right.
So I know the value of a Jay verse, and I know the value of not asking for something that you earned. That's how that works. You don't have to ask for a verse from your superheroes. When you become a superhero, they're gonna notice you in the newspaper.
Yep.
They won't fly too.
It happens,
We had to fight to get a meal, wrongfully accused, we had to fight to get a pills. That's why we right to get a deal. He on the team, he gotta eat, you know, despite the skills. Keep it riding for the fam, you gotta light the wheels straight up. But in the past bad, work up in the trash bag. I'll pass a lot to take the test before I pass class. And my family needed bread, I had to come correct. That's why I keep airing it out like I just passed gas.
I Am Athlete Parlay. We've been hot. These are guaranteed wins.
I'm gonna take Arizona over San Fran.
Whoa.
It's all about matchups, understanding who's playing against who. It's a game of chess.
Ooh, UFC 278, Usman versus Edwards. Oh, baby. Anyways, here's what you do. You guys been listening to me all year. I'm telling you right now, I'm at least 70%. Make sure you download DraftKings Sportsbook, the app. Use promo code ATHLETE, all new users. If you bet $5, you're going to get 200 in free bets instantly, no matter what. You can deposit and withdraw same day. So many perks to being with the best. DraftKings Sportsbook, the app. Make sure you in the game, make it rain. UFC 278, Usman and Edwards. Ow, baby.
DraftKings.com is the sportsbook. I Am Athlete is the platform. Parlay. I Am Athlete all day. Promo code ATHLETE. Let's get it.
This is gonna be an unbelievable conversation right here, ladies and gentlemen. I wanna say welcome. Thank you. My brother. This here we get to, communicate with each other, and we call it the locker room. In the locker room, we honest with each other. It's really uncut. You get what I'm saying?
2018, first project, Collection 1. All right. Now 3 albums in. 2-time award winner, recording artist, Grammys, 2 times.
Grammys.
All right. Let's say that.
I feel like get to the streams.
1 billion streams.
1 billion streams, bro?
Off his hit single, Roses. SAINt JHN dude that is legendary in my mind. I think he is. I want to say, I feel like I'm being disrespectful by saying next, but because you already broke through. We talking about in Australia, in the UK, going one over there and one over there. But I feel like you're just now getting started and it's so much bigger. You got a new project, but before we get to the new project, because I know you got 2 singles dropping August, next week, it feel like.
I think it's like a next week. One of these weeks, next week, is happening.
2 singles.
2, yeah.
And then you got September, you got the full project coming out.
The full collection comes out in September.
Before we even get going, all right, Nagin, can we just play my song? Just vibe a little bit, like you did with JR? Just vibe.
I like that.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite joints.
All the way up.
Let that thing drop, let that thing drop.
Only real ever knew was try.
Hey.
I ain't never telling lies. Cross my heart and hope to die. Or may we never testify. Put the pedal to the floor. Look the devil in the eye. Hey.
That song right there, when you hear that song, like what's the first thing that comes to mind?
Ask
Yeah.
When you say it, it's funny because if we was in a different space with different energy, it'd probably be a different response. The first thing that comes to mind is 2021 Lollapalooza. It's funny, that happened after the record came out.
but there's a specific moment in 2021 Lollapalooza. I'm in the middle of the crowd. I'm standing on somebody's shoulders or sitting on somebody's shoulders, and like I'm in the middle of the audience. It's probably, I don't want to exaggerate. I hate when fluff the numbers. It's probably like 70,000 people like in the audience.
Yeah.
Unless I don't know how to count, which I don't, but it looked like 70,000. It's
like
like
a
crazy.
That's like a whole
football game, right?
That's
No, it's
like
crazy. It's like
stadium.
that. Definitely, right? So it's that big. And I'm in the middle of the joint, and it's towards the end of my set. I'm like 2 songs from the end, and I drop trap, and the whole it looks like a wave. When you see this, everybody just going up. That's what I think of every single time.
Is that like a rush? Like, you know how when we come out the
That gotta be a rush, bro.
Right.
Because it's a team of us.
Yeah.
It's just him.
Facts.
You feel me? Is that a crazy rush for you?
Yeah, but it's closer to the, if you score like the touchdown, or like the most important touchdown of the game, this is my second to last joint. So it's a wrap for me. So to have one more go up before you end the game, it's the most important. It's a 90-yard touchdown.
Before we go deeper, man, because we haven't done this in a long time, because there's so much we want to talk to you about. I think there's a lot that we can learn from you. How you doing, bro? 1 to 10. So 3 categories. Mentally, how you doing? Personally, how you doing? And business-wise, how you doing?
You lead it off, though.
So all right, I'll lead it off. So where I'm at right now, from a business standpoint, keeping it 100, keeping it funky, I think this is the hardest thing I've ever done. 70 employees, I'm working new muscles. You know what I'm saying? It was easy in football, like, because we built that up, running sprints, running routes, catching the ball. Come on, I'm 6'5", 230, you know what I mean? Like, all I gotta do is just tap in every day, do my workout, and I'm gonna be successful. I had something special, but that was kind of easy to me. That's easy. Business, that bro, is different. So I would say I'm in a defining moment as an entrepreneur, and I would say I'm at a 7. I'm at a 7 because my mindset, like, there's no fucking doubt in my mind that it's gonna become what it's supposed to become. I am at that, it's gonna become, as it is what it is. Just, what's the solution? My team, everybody, we talk about it, everybody in the trenches. What's the solution? Day to day. Mentally, a lot of personal things going on, and it's the same approach. It's like it's not what I'm going through, it's how I'm dealing with what I'm going through. If I really, really laid it out, because we don't got enough time, I'm like you're a 5. But for me, I'm a 7 because what's my routine to cope and deal with what I'm going through? You understand? Like, it's a lot. 70 employees, got wife, kids at home. How do I manage? How do I put it all together? Personally, I feel really good. I'm down 20 pounds. You know what I mean? My routine is solid. And I couldn't ask for, like, how I'm approaching myself. You know what I'm saying? I feel fly. I feel like I look fly, Shady. Shady think he the best dressed, but I'm the flyest. So I'm good. So that's how we do check-ins, right? Because I don't know if you got any artists, friends, or homeboys or partners from where you come from, where y'all check in on each other, have real conversations, not just hi and bye, you good? Yeah, I'm good. If y'all have real conversation, but that's where I'm at, and that's the real.
I like that, first of all. I didn't even like check-ins, like when you tap in with niggas and everybody keeping it a whole buck.
You have to.
Like, I remember that, but we ain't even call it check-ins. But I ain't had one in a really long time. I ain't have a sit down with people like-minded from a similar place, just having a simple conversation in a long time. But I like operating in transparency, so this is easy for me. It's probably an 8 across the board, only because I probably wouldn't know how to adjust the numbers in a different way. So personally, I'm at an 8. I moved to Puerto Rico. I've been there close to a year. My anonymity doesn't exist anymore. I'm not a nigga could just walk up to like the regular bodega, and even if you don't know me, you make certain assumptions about me. Maybe because my skin glow, I don't know, right?
Got white teeth,
Right.
you know what I mean? Whatever it is.
Before you do that, what they say, anonymity?
Anonymity.
Anonymity. I already know what y'all niggas.
Right.
Everybody want to say it like they knew the word.
Like, I know they,
Yeah,
look, I know what he's saying. Look,
But
look,
go ahead, go back to your story. That boy
I
said
know what he's saying,
anonymity. Like, what? Go, bro.
Like, so I know y'all can relate to this though.
Yeah.
So when you just a civilian in any capacity,
Yeah, break it down for
right?
us. Slow it down.
Like you a regular person. When I say regular, I mean your job doesn't put you in front of people's living rooms in any capacity. When your job doesn't do that, it allows you to fail and make mistakes in the privacy of your own home, have your own discomforts. Just be a civilian in the most natural possible way. Because I don't have that, when I cry, I gotta cry in the mirror. I'm comfortable with that, like I accept that. Sometimes that makes me a little bit lonely. The trick is like I assumed, you gotta make certain assumptions. I wasn't one of those people that wanted to be in music or wanted to have success and didn't make assumptions or presumptions or do my research on what it's gonna take and what it's gonna look like. I wanted to know what it would look like. I didn't know a single person that was successful from TV from a distance that wasn't lonely, because you gotta push that cart up the hill by yourself. So on a personal level, because I'm in Puerto Rico and I live there and it's just me, it makes me lonely a lot. And it forces me to go ask myself more questions, right? But it's not the lonely where I wanna hurt myself, or it's not the type of lonely that's dangerous. It's the type of lonely where you gotta grow from it. So it's a real 8. Financially, it's an 8 because I'm making adjustments. I'm in a place that I've never been before. Never been. I ain't come from means. I ain't have money growing up. I don't know nothing about this. All I got is a plan that I made, a hope that I had, and a whole lot of creativity and art, right? And I did some pretty phenomenal things by my standards, and probably by some of the world standards too. But there's so much more that I haven't done. So the 2 points is the ceiling to grow. The 8 is for the applause for people who made it from a place that people aren't supposed to make it from.
So you hit mentally, personally, which one?
What was the third one?
All 8. He said all 8.
So what was the other one? Mentally, personally?
And professionally.
So I
You
did,
said-
oh,
you
so
said
mentally.
money-wise. Yep.
Yeah, I think I covered it. All of it's all in a space for 8. I'm
Well,
not in a bad slot, but there's room to grow.
Obviously, you guys know how important this conversation around mental health means to I Am Athlete. You know, whether we're talking to Dwayne Wade, we're talking to Deion Sanders, we're talking to so many other athletes and artists, the game. Like, we can have fun all we want on this show. You know, we can sit down with the coolest people in the world, but at the end of the day, what are we talking about? You know what I'm saying? And for me, you know, what I'm most passionate about is this conversation around mental health. Men, we don't talk about this. Dudes out there are suffering in silence. Extremely grateful for BetterHelp, for stepping up and sponsoring this episode, and also building with I Am Athlete. So much more to come, because there's a lot of us out there that need help, may be scared to ask for help. Some of us don't even know we are struggling, but for BetterHelp to step up and say, we want to build with you guys, so much respect and hats off. Our partnership with BetterHelp includes 10% off your first month. To get this, go to betterhelp.com/IAA. It's BetterHelp, that's HELP. All of this is in a link in the description below. They have over 20,000 trained therapists ready to listen to you online, secure and safe. Fill out the questionnaire, you know, so they can be able to assess within hours, 48 hours, what you may be dealing with, who you need to talk to. So I appreciate this conversation. Every time we get an opportunity to do it, we do these check-ins 1 in 10. We've been doing it for 2 years. To me, I think it's the most legendary thing we do. So BetterHelp, thank you, and so much more to come. Dudes, tap in, get the help you need. It's okay.
So we all come from like similar backgrounds, right? Well, probably more of us than yours. You know what I mean? Because that's deep. When you start traveling and seeing how other people live in different countries, when you think of your hood, you're like, man, I'm from the hood. And you go over, you're like, yo, they from the hood. So like, Pacman always talks about how when he made it, he had so many people. Now, I had a lot of cats with me, but he probably had way more, right? But when you talk about yourself, the struggles and how poor you really was, now that you at this level, is it hard to kind of try to like help everybody? Because you saying they have shoes and this and that, and et cetera, and ain't this village supporters you, helps you where you at now. How is that to try to pay people back? Like, you looked out for me to get me where I'm at. How, is that a struggle for you? Like,
I'm on my time for a payment plan.
okay.
My payment plan to cover my debts is on my time. It cannot be on your time. If you lent me $10 and I just made 15 and you want yours back right now, I can't give it to you. You really want the 20 I'm gonna give you in a year, forget the 10 that I owe you right now, because the 20 gonna come with an extension plan. It's gonna make sure we're gonna be friends and family for life. But if you take it from me right now when I can't feed enough people, when I can't cover enough debts, then all you doing is giving me a false loan. You giving me false hopes.
Because in the league, bro, like, that's the hardest part.
He just said something.
What you just say?
How'd you get to that?
I've never heard an answer like that, because in the league, it's like, yo, they know you made it. We grew up in the same spot, bro. You know, I remember I used to go to the store, dog. We used to talk about, hey, look, I got 25 cigarettes. You know what I'm saying? Let's try to get it together. And now it's like, how do you say that? Because I respect your answer, but how do you say that to the grandma, right? the auntie, my favorite cousin. How do you say that in lines?
Homeboy, we
I'm
took
on my own
baths
payment
together.
plan. How can you tell you know what I mean? Your main homie that.
A lot of dudes struggle with this. First generation
Because we all
millionaires.
struggle, bro.
Talk to him.
Look, sometimes it's as simple as having an uncomfortable conversation. I saw Jay talking about having uncomfortable conversations and how that makes you grow. And I think that's really important. And sometimes it's important to just not pick up your phone.
He's a savage.
Yeah, he's smart.
Bro's a savage.
Yeah, he's smart.
Well, he's been through a lot too.
Yeah, that's right.
And it speaks values. And we was talking about hoods and all that. A hood is what it is, but where we're from, if we can adapt to being in the Bronx, you know what I mean? Being in Bankhead Court, you can adapt to certain things if you have to adapt to it.
Right.
Does that make sense to me? But I want to jump over that right quick. I want to ask you, this is the first time you're doing a dual single, and one of my friends is Young Thug, Free Young Thug, Free Slime, but I like your swag, boy.
That's the first time I noticed.
I looked at you, I said, God damn.
I mean, he's from Brooklyn.
You know what I mean? It popped
it's
up
natural.
to you like, God damn, he got hell of a fucking swag. And then I met you, but why the two song duo?
I think it's time to apply pressure. You said something earlier. You said, I'm 3 projects in going on my 4th, and you were introducing me, but you were saying it in a way that I'm about to go.
Right.
You know why you got that feeling? Because you watched me get the scoring award, but you ain't see me get a ring. And you want it for me the same way you wanted it for you. You could recognize in it. Like you could, you identify it. Right?
So it was respectable how I did it?
No, it makes absolute sense.
Okay, cool.
That makes absolute sense. What you want for me is what I want for myself. And when you watch me touch the moon in a way that you know I grabbed it and put it in my pocket, then you'll introduce it in a different way. So you just introduced it with hope, right? Like, yo, I know what.
Shit, boy.
Bro, do you study philosophy? Like,
Nah.
what that? I mean, where'd you go to school?
Yo, he
like,
on the level.
Where you come up with? Go back to the first saying, right? Like, how'd you get to that? The question that we asked.
He says on his own payment plan?
Yeah.
That was crazy.
That was the
bro.
best thing I've ever heard.
I'm saying it from now on.
I've never heard.
Yo, what up? It's Shady, what's up? You on what? Listen, fam, listen. I'm on my own payment plan. You know what I mean? Dang, like, y'all crazy. Real rap.
What you say, bro?
12 years, 14, 13 years.
Bro, don't even worry about it, bro. Listen, just think about it for a couple months from now, bro.
Right.
And not even answering the phone.
He said, but like even at the point that I love, like, and you break it down, go a little deeper, where you like, I give you $10, and when I get 15, you asking for your 10 back, like that's a problem. But if you wait a year,
20 coming.
It got 20 coming, and we friends and family for life. Like, how'd you get to that answer? Like,
Because it's how I really think. It's how I really feel.
but how? Like, let me
That
tell
ain't
you. Let
easy
me
to
tell you
come
why.
to.
Because like a lot of shit that I say and do is because of my traumas. A lot of shit that I say and do is because like I fail. I bump my head. It might be a lot of good experiences, but there's also some bad experience. Like I didn't try that 5 times. That didn't work. Maybe I should come this way. You know what I'm saying? Then there's a couple books I read, et cetera, et cetera. So I want you to go a little deeper, like how you get to that answer, because how you answer that, bro, that shit ain't normal.
I'm not well read. I'm not some guy that studied really, really hard. Or I didn't have the attention span to read books and then remember them. That was boring to me. I didn't really get that. I didn't know if you had that talent, like I was so happy for you. That means you were in a better place in life, or you had the greatest skills than I had. So I'm working from a deficit. What I'm good at doing is putting pieces together. I puzzle piece from a distance. I figure, you know, people say, or you've heard the expression, life is too short to go through all the experiences on your own, learn from other people's mistakes.
Say it again, hold on.
Here you go
Speak
again.
up to
Here
it.
you go again.
Life is too short to go through everything on your own and bump your head. You should learn from other people's experiences. They say that in like some metaphoric way, or just as some like a lavish or an interesting thought process. I believed it. I'm like, I agree with you. Life is too short. I don't want to bump my head doing everything. I better get smart out here, or I'm gonna fail. Plus, I looked at the odds. The numbers are against me. They're stacked up against me.
Right.
Either I'm gonna figure out how to go forward, or I'm gonna fail. I know I've seen every example of failure. I've seen it in my family. I've seen it in friendships. I've seen it in the hood. Like, I know how to do that with my eyes closed. I could fail 76 times right now. Figuring out how to be successful requires you to take a lot of thinking. So to answer your question, how and why, I got to this point, I asked myself a lot of questions. I talk to myself like I got the answers. Not from like an arrogant place, not like that. Like if information exists, the same way creativity comes to me and I got it, like musically, the same ability I have or skill set I have in music, it comes from me asking questions and seeking answers. And I do that. I'll do it in the mirror. I'll do it out loud. I'm looking for the information in the streets. I'm looking for it in simple conversations. Because all your messages, all the things that you think are evading you or elusive to you, be in front of your face. It'd be like this. I was on a plane just now. Literally, I just flew in from Puerto Rico. And I'm not usually overly like talkative or overly communicative. So I'm on a plane. The lady sitting next to me, I don't know what it was. I have no idea. She wasn't doing nothing that would make me talk to her, but I trust myself and I trust the energy around me. So I just start talking to her.
Baby, bye, baby. Come on,
Right?
come on. I'm busy.
We start talking. We on a 3.5-hour plane ride and the conversation get real good. And I'm like, yo, what do you do? I don't often ask that question because I don't really care what you do. I don't care what occupies your time and how they pay you. I'm concerned with who you are. And you don't really get that by just asking questions. You get that by letting people tell you who they are. They'll tell you. You won't even have to say anything. But I ask, what do you do? She says, I'm in marketing. I'm in medical marketing. I'm like, medical marketing? I don't even know what that is. But we keep talking. And she's talking about her kids. And I get the inclination because whenever I need something, the universe will give it to me right in front of me. And you can see like the patterns in your life. And the patterns in my life, when I need something, the universe will put it right here in front of me. It never pops up like that. So you look at it and you go, this can't be what I needed or what I asked for. So the ladies in marketing and we're just starting, God Complex is the name of my record company. And we're for the first time, God Complex. I'll explain that and why it's called that in a second. Right. We'll double back. So we're about to go for the first time completely, fully the type of independent that I would want to be, right? Without real partnerships. So I'm now looking to staff up my company with the right resources, with the right like informational resources, human resources, financial resources. So I'm talking to this lady in medical marketing, and we start talking about where she's from, why she's from there, what her life is like, how she's raising her kids. I'm talking about Billion. I'm showing her videos of when he's running on stage to see me perform. And I go, you want to hear this collection of music I just made? So I played a brand new collection that comes out in September. I have no need to play this for this lady is not in my space. But I took so kindly to the fact that she was not from my world and she could judge me with clarity. Okay. And I was like, I like this. So I play it for her. And she starts going off. She's in her notes, and I know what happens when people start going in there. I'm like, when I do that,
yeah.
Magic is happening.
Right.
I'm looking through the side of my eye. I'm like, oh God, she's gonna do some fire.
Right.
So she's listening to this entire collection, and at the end of it, it's 1 hour and 8 minutes long. I tell her nothing about it. I don't give her no context.
She in medical.
And she runs off the wildest marketing plan that look, at this point, I've been in the music business for like a number of years. And at this point, I would have met some people that are supposed to be smart. No?
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, right. Yeah, you seen it all. They did it all.
Here's the first smart person I ever met in marketing. She's in medical marketing. She's selling devices to doctors who are giving them to patients. And she riddles off the most impactful marketing plan like she knows me, understands where I'm coming from, tells me what the collection is about, why it's that way. And I don't give her no context clues because I either want to watch her soar or fail. Either way, I need the information. And I'm watching her soar and I said, medical marketing, huh? She starts laughing.
Right.
I said, we're discussing, we going further. I said, why medical marketing? She said, well, I fell in love with it and I wouldn't really quite know how to make the adjustment to do what I really want to do creatively in marketing. I said, well, hypothetically, miss, I didn't even ask her name until we got off the plane, right? So I said, hypothetically, what if you just happen to be coming from San Juan, Puerto Rico, going back to Newark, and you happen to run into an incredible artist who happen to got all their shit together and is right in line to do what you want to do with your career and give you the opportunity to do it. And what if 2 years from then, when you say you want to, I don't know, let's say you want to be head of marketing for Fisher-Price or Pfizer or wherever, and you go tell them a story about when you ran into SAINt JHN on the plane and y'all just happen to talk about in case we both die young and you happen to roll out a marketing plan and then I happen to execute it and it happened to be brilliant and you happen to change your life. What if that accidentally happened, hypothetically?
Right.
And she goes, I say, yeah, this is how it happens.
So that's your CMO?
Yeah,
Just like that. So
So what's the plan? So I love it. That's beautiful.
That's how y'all connected?
yeah,
Damn, you got some good angels. You living right, you doing something good.
I'm doing everything as right as
was
I possibly
crazy.
can. So we exchange numbers. And listen, if this works out the way that I would want it to, then I get the opportunity to be a part of her story. Because it's, for
I
me,
like
it's,
how you said that part of her story.
yeah, it's cooler for me. I'm going where I'm going.
Right.
If I met her on a train, plane, bus, and never met her, I'm going where I'm
Doing your
going.
thing, right.
I'm going where I'm going. So me being able to throw an ounce of hope in her car engine at this late in the game for her, she's 2 kids in it, she's in the middle of her career and she's sorted and knows who she is. And I go, well, it could get better. And if I could help that and it could help me, that's cool. That's way cool.
How long ago was this?
This was like 2 hours ago.
Yeah.
Just
So what's the marketing plan?
It was elaborate. It was super.
Come on, give us the thing that give me
What
if
wowed
you
you
can, because
about
I know the album coming out.
Oh my God.
So the whole marketing plan, the rollout, is going to be coming from her strategy.
It's experiential. I'm gonna talk
So
to them
give
all.
me-
I think
what
I
is
want to
it?
use
Give
the
me
whole
something.
thing.
Yeah,
I'll give you a piece of it.
What grabs you?
She said something about hearts. She used some language that I'd never heard before, right? Everybody know a different language. Like when you get really good at something, that means that you learned the language. So I learned the language, I know music. And she has a language that she knows, it's marketing, and it just happens to be something that could be applied in any space. It's just marketing. She said it's hearts and hands. She said it's hearts and hands, and I never heard this before. She said people could fall in love with what's in their hand because it's useful and necessary for them, meaning I need a cup, so this cup is handy, and I'm in love with the usage of this cup, but I'm not committed to this cup. But when you sell a story and people fall in love with why the cup is the cup, then you have their hearts and they'll always come back to the cup, and they'll have a story that's invested in the cup when it's half full, half empty, or empty. And I go hearts and hands, and I go, damn, you f***ed me up. So in saying that, she tells me something about music exists in the ether. It's just something that's like in the air. It's just atmospheric. She said when it becomes tangible, when things become tangible and the experience becomes even richer. So one small caveat, one small part of the marketing plan, we're doing a live installation, because she asked me how I want to be remembered. What's my legacy? And I hated the question and I loved it because she wasn't asking like she was interviewing me. She just wanted to know what my legacy, what I wanted it to be. I said I want to be remembered as an artist, as one of the foremost impressive artists and businessmen that walked this earth. But I want, when you think of St. John, actually this is what I said to her, right? I'm trying to remember. I said I want it to feel like the way it feels when you say Saint Laurent, when you whisper Saint Laurent. That's what I said to her. I said, you know that emotion?
Because y'all know that feeling like,
You know the feeling, you can picture the colors. I said it's lilac, it's black, it's silver.
Yeah.
You know how it's pronounced, it's embossed. I said, when you say my name by the end of this rope, it should feel like that. It should feel like luxury and passion and hope and inspiration and growth and everything, and it gotta be sexy, or it wasn't me, I didn't do it. So we're having this full conversation. Anyway, so one of the pieces she tells me I'm doing an art installation. She says, you do an art installation. You wanna be adjacent to art if you wanna be remembered as purely an artist. It doesn't matter what your medium is. I wanna be known as the artist. I want them, when they say St. John, I want them, you'd be like, I don't remember, was it music? Was it fashion? Was it film? Was it textures and textiles? Was it architecture? It shouldn't matter.
Right.
I want permission to do whatever the I want to do, as long as I want to do it, and I want permission to change my mind and get bored when I'm done. So we're talking about this art installation to present the collection in case we both die young.
So a rollout is extremely important for artists. Jay-Z had a legendary rollout where he did the whole scavenger hunt. What's the most legendary rollout for an artist that you've ever seen?
The most legendary I've ever seen? The phrase rollout is too business oriented. I think it's the way you present your work. I know you're saying that, but I want to be real specific about language, because language has an emotion to it, right? So the way I present my art, so when I say that I'm about to present my art, you have a different expectation. When I tell you about my rollout, you know I'm trying to sell some.
It's more intimate.
Yeah, so I'm not trying to sell
I
nothing.
get you, I got you.
I want to commodify my art, but I want to present it in the best possible way. So when Jay did 444, I thought it was really cool. I thought the simplicity of him just putting 444 everywhere, and you knew it meant something, and you knew it was powerful, and you don't have to understand numerology.
Right.
Because the people who were looking at that, they didn't understand numerology. Like just this general consumer watching him roll that out, just knew it was everywhere and it meant something. That's all they knew, it meant something, and they didn't know what it meant, and they were waiting for it to explain it. In the last decade, people have gone lazy. Art don't quite feel the same way. So a piece of the rollout she was talking about is, in this art installation that people come through, it'll be like a museum or an exhibit in a gallery, but it's with 15 different rooms and a passageway where you're going from room to room. I'm trying to oversimplify it because it was so detailed. Like, if it's an art installation that's emotional and relates to this cinematic piece of work that I'm making, it's a lot more complicated to just say it in like 10 seconds. But she said one thing really specific. She said in one of the rooms, you'd write down one of your fears, your pains, or your promises on a piece of paper, and you'd burn it as you leave the room. And I was like, oh man, I know what that does. I know what that feels like. I know why that's important. Just having the emotionality, that emotional feeling connected to something that's sonically beautiful, creates a memory that imprints and lasts forever.
That's deep.
It starts
Really
feeling
smart.
like Saint Laurent.
So look, I'm trying to figure out the move, you know. How many brothers and sisters do you have?
There's 10 of us. 2 died, but there's 10 of, so there's 8 left, including me.
You moved from New York City, back, boom, here. Then you leave New York City, go all the way to San Juan, Puerto Rico. Is it just you?
Me and Biggs, both of us moved.
Just y'all?
Yeah.
All right, so you're used to like picking up and you know what I mean? So tell us growing up, preparing you just to go over here, and what the hell made you go move all the way to Puerto Rico, away from everybody?
This is where it get interesting right here. Because, go ahead, go ahead.
There's 2 pieces to that. I'll tell you the first piece. If you'd have asked me 5 years ago how I envision success, I'd have told you, I want to be on an island for 6 months out of the year, and I want to fly in for work for the other 6. I'd have told you specifically that. If you met me 5, 6 years ago, it would have been exactly that. It's 2022. I live in Puerto Rico, 6 months out of the year. If I want to do it, it's a mandate. I got to do it.
Because you said it?
Because actually, for me to get the benefit of being there, I got to do it because I said it. But look at that. Look at how it unfolds.
Yeah.
That's the first part of it. I said it, so I spoke it into existence, so I wished it and willed it to be. And I didn't even know. I just said, it's gonna happen, and I kept saying it. And
educate right there. Speak right there.
Talk to the young guys at home.
We bring out some food too. Whatever the foods, we like to break bread here, bring the food out. But what you just said, that's big. Artist, athlete, doesn't matter who you are, lawyer, weekend warrior, at home, mom or dad, language. Like, because you just said when you speak it.
The words is powerful, bro.
Right.
Yeah.
You end up living by the things that you speak. Your words end up creating your world. My mom taught me that a really, really long time ago, that your words create your world.
Appreciate y'all. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
So we like to break bread on the show, bro. You know, we're traveling this week. Usually we have our chef with us. You have to come down to Florida, break bread with us again.
Oh, I love that.
As we break the bread, like, what you mean? You have to do that because you made a decision. You don't have to do nothing. So talk to the younger kids at home and explain when you say, it's not what I want to do, it's a mandate. You get what I'm saying? So tell them the benefits and what you get to reap for what you're doing.
Look,
I understand you say you want to say 6 to 6, but there's more to it.
Yeah, there's more to it. There's a financial benefit to being in Puerto Rico. When you start making money, you start making any type of resources, the first thought is to spend it. The first thought is to go get the thing that you dreamt about, or whatever you said you was gonna buy, or to pull up on whoever you said you was gonna pull up on, how you was gonna do it. And if you're fortunate enough to get that out your system, and you're still in a good place, you now have to learn a lesson that the only way to make money is to be able to hold on to the money you've made.
That's the hardest part.
Getting rich or being prosperous ain't about getting it coming in, it's about being able to hold on to it.
Say that again?
Getting rich or being prosperous ain't about the money that's coming in, it's about what you can hold on to.
Great steward.
I don't know how, I'm saying, I'm gonna tell you, I made a lot of money. These 2 guys made a lot of money. It's easy to say that, but it ain't as easy as you just said that.
What, holding on to it?
Yeah.
No, of course it's not. Everybody would do the trick.
Right.
It's difficult.
Explain it.
The simplicity
Don't give
of
me
it.
no.
No, I'm
I
gonna
want
give
you
it
to go
you.
deep like you done broke down everything else.
No, I'm gonna give you everything because there's so many different layers to it, right? There's the emotion of it and then there's the fact of it. So you got to deal with both because both really exist. So you said it's not that simple to like hold on to the money. No, that's the thing that they don't tell you. They don't teach us fiscal responsibility. First of all, what they was gonna teach it to us? How they was gonna school us on it? Like, where was you supposed to get this type of education? This education is either hard-earned or it comes from bumping your head. Or you have somebody in an experiential place who's really gonna guide you. And how many of us know people that are gonna do the things that we've never done? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no family have no financial literacy. They don't be knowing that.
How? So
what's the
listen,
what's the
so
pros and
this was what
cons
was
of
happening.
Moving over.
So I'm living in LA at the time. And I start asking the question because taxes are real. Actually, taxes are going up.
It's crazy.
In California.
Crazy in LA.
Crazy.
They were going up.
Right.
So there was a threat that taxes were going to hit somewhere like 70%. It was so like late 60s, early 70s. And I'm like, wait, how you supposed to, why would anybody live here? Why y'all living here?
Right.
You could live anywhere in the world. I hate people with money because the people with money oftentimes the people with money who just got there have no clue what to do with it and no clue what they want to do with it. I wanted to live on an island. I want to save money. I want to make money. I want to be in a place where my tax liability is low. And I started researching. We were just looking into the places that have the greatest tax benefits on the planet. It was that simple. We started looking.
No,
First
this
place-
is different. Like,
First place we found was Florida.
Right.
Florida it's 14%. So state taxes don't exist in Florida.
Right, no.
So we made the first move. LA to Florida, all right, cool. We probably pocketed 20%. More of our own money, we'd save 20%. That's a fictitious number, but it's just a general number. And I'm like, wait, it gotta get bigger than this. It gotta get better than this. Like, this ain't enough.
Right.
Like, what do billionaires do? I started being curious about owning orchards and owning wineries and vineyards. I'm like, wait, where they put their money? There's no way they taking this L. I don't know this to be a fact. Let me start there. Let me start right there. I know Lenny Kravitz. He lives in the Bahamas and he lives in Paris and he don't live in New York and he don't live in LA. And it's my homie and I remember going, that's really cool, right? Because I just went on the cool part of it.
right.
I just thought it was cool. I didn't ask myself what was going on.
Why,
I just
or
thought
why
it was
and all
cool.
that. Right. He doing it up like.
And then I started looking into tax havens. Specifically, anybody's looking out there, you start looking into tax havens. Places where you're taxed the least amount and you can retain most of your income. If they give you $100 and take 60 from you, and you start living off of the premise that you got 100 when you really just got 40.
Right.
It ain't gonna take too long before you upside down. Upside down meaning in over your head in debt. So you have to look for places that best serve you. So I want to live on an island 6 months out of the year anyway. Puerto Rico got 4% tax flat as long as you do it right, as long as you do your business correct. I said, what's stopping us from moving there? I'm on a fly anyway. We flying in and out. I'm on a plane 5-6 times a week anyway. I'm a stewardess.
Easy.
I'm
I
100%.
tried to do that.
Yeah.
My wife was like, nah. I was like, damn, I'm right here. You're already in South Florida. I can be in Puerto Rico just 2 years, come in and out. Y'all come to me, it's easy. Nah.
She said no.
She said no.
You have kids though,
That's right.
right?
Yep.
Look, I worked out.
Because the biggest benefit is this. If you go over there for 2 years, Jake Paul's over there, y'all neighbors?
We used to be, because we both lived in.
Yeah, there's a couple cats over there.
There's a location called, this ain't like where should go live if they go to Puerto Rico, by the way. So this ain't coming from my recommendation. It's called Dorado.
So you're not putting your name on this, you're saying?
No, I ain't put my name on this.
Right.
Because Dorado ain't there's no culture there.
Right.
Oh, got you.
I'm from places with culture. Like, look, it ain't enough to save money and then ruin your soul or spite your spirit. That's not interesting to me neither. So when I moved to Puerto Rico, I moved to this isolated place called Dorado. So it's a gated community. And if you never had nothing and never came from nothing and this is your first time having anything, you might think it's cool. But if it's your second week of having some shit, it ain't cool.
I was thinking, I was like, yo, where should I move? He's like, okay, I was just over here in Dorado. This ain't it. I'm in a new neighborhood. I just moved in.
Yeah.
Because you making money, you saving it, but you want to at least enjoy it.
You want to enjoy your life.
But like, think about, okay, I mean, when it's all said and done, you can make how much money?
96% of your own money.
No, I'm saying like, you gonna be a billionaire?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're gonna make $1 billion. And we talking about, you know, a lot of, he's saving a lot of, what is it, federal?
Yeah, I'm saving federal, I'm saving state. You're only paying a Puerto Rican fixed number.
4%.
It's 4%.
Yeah, flat.
That's good, but you gotta stay there for 2 years.
My question
That's
is,
the discipline.
hold on, let me ask you one question.
Yeah.
For us, we get taxed in every state that we play in.
Right.
Do you get taxed in
Of course,
every
I'm a
state
performer.
that you perform in?
Yeah.
That's a good
Okay.
question.
Yeah.
So you're saying when we're saving this money, you're saying as far as capital tax gain. All right, cool. Go ahead.
All right, great.
So even though you're getting taxed in every state that you play in, when you're coming from a place that has a certain tax threshold and your businesses and your income is derived from a specific place, like I don't want to speak out of turn. If I was a CPA or a tax accountant, I'd give it to you in an even more refined format. I can't. I don't want to mislead you. That'd be foolish, right? Now I know it's a long game, but it's better. It's significantly better, and I wouldn't be doing it. I look like a that just want to throw the money out. If I'm gonna throw it out the window, it's gonna be some. You're gonna know what it's gonna look like. It's gonna be a bunch of joints, and it'll be obvious. I'm not gonna throw it out the window secretly.
You saying a lot of the right things, and you explaining the right things. I just gotta know, so I'm not tripping. When you got your paper, right? When you arrived, you got your money. What's the first thing you bought? I'm just curious to know.
Because he
Because he doing it the right way. Like,
Right. Had no fun.
yeah, I'm saying like, damn,
Nah. I do things at
they
the
be
right
like a
time.
dummy. Like, I done,
Have you had any fun?
yeah, like,
Yeah, I go up. I mean,
Well, he
I'm
told us
a
it's
musical athlete, so you know. I'm getting the same.
I just gotta know what you, the first thing that you bought.
All right, the
Or
first
can I
thing,
ask you the most expensive thing you bought? I don't want to get in your business, but
the
I
most
just want to feel
expensive thing I
comfortable
bought
knowing.
on a recreationally, McLaren.
Okay,
I wasn't a car guy.
Okay, so you live in
Yeah,
a
I'm a
little,
big
so you,
car
are,
guy.
so you are living then.
American
but I-
Muscle?
Okay.
Huh?
Or not American Muscle? What you like? You said McLaren. What else?
not-
Give me your top 5 cars.
Of all time or in general?
What you like?
I'm gonna
this
tell you
year.
what I got.
All right,
Spider,
even better.
Spider. So 488 Spider, 675 LT Spider.
Oh yeah, he likes
718
speed.
Spider.
Shady.
I like Spiders.
So you got 3 of these?
Yeah, I got all 3 of the joints.
Okay, so yeah, that's the best. All right, so he living good and he's saving.
Yeah.
Bet you like 10 years ago.
Right.
Dog, I got 10 million. Y'all seen the cash. What should I do?
Real quick, a lot of people don't know you wrote for a lot of legendary people. You got frustrated with the process. So can you go back to like who inspired you and then get into, you know, that process before 2018, who you wrote for before you even blew?
2 major inspirations, Jay and Kanye. So
Some great one.
Jay was like Carnegie for me. They talk about like Rockefeller, you know, like John D. Rockefeller or Andrew Carnegie. And they talk about them like they're statues of men, or they did the impossible. They talk like the same way they talk about Carnegie is the way they talk about Warren Buffett, but it's in a distant past.
Right.
So because it's not happening, the folklore and the legend of it makes it seem even more impossible. But Jay's from Marcy and not too far from where I grew up. So I go, oh, we got a Carnegie. Oh, I got it. All I needed to see was it happen in real time.
It's possible.
So yeah, it's possible. So Jay for his business acumen and his lyrical prowess, and then Kanye for the way that his creativity being so boundless. Those were my 2 inspirations, right? For the way I was thinking about life, general hope, recreational frivolity, like frivolous, just ignorant. And what was the other question?
He talking about he didn't go to school.
Nah, I didn't. No.
No, he went to school.
He talking about I ain't read no books. He lying.
Too smart not to go to school.
Listen.
You ain't
Ain't
go to
no
school.
way.
You was lying, Barry. He lying.
Nah, I keep it up. Look, I'm gonna keep it tall.
Brooklyn, I mean, come on, man.
I'm not like a school. I didn't have the. If I did, I probably would have. You wouldn't even.
school.
Bro,
We'd have had a different
these words
conversation
that you
for a
are
different
using,
reason.
These words that you
Sure.
are using.
Hold on. Out of your brothers and sisters,
I'm
where you
second to
lying?
last.
That's why.
I'm second to last.
That's why. This
He
nigga
seen
so
everything?
smart. He done seen everything.
Oh yeah, I ain't
He
gonna
got
do
the
that.
he got the pick, bob,
Right.
weave, take this one, boom,
Absolutely.
boom. Damn. Oh boy.
So Beyonce,
Right here.
Kanye, Usher, you wrote for some of these
My
greatest.
bad. I got distracted. 2018. You asked me about writing.
wanna heat it up.
So
Yeah.
There's so much to cover, right? There's so much to cover on God. There's just so much ground
Just
to
don't
cover.
use too many big words so I don't get distracted.
2018, I put out.
Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
I put out my first collection of music in 2018, like my first body of work properly. Like I'm saying, I'm outside, this is me. And prior to that, I'd written for Usher. I'd written for, at this point it's Usher, Kanye, Beyonce.
Which one of the Beyonce joints?
Brown Skin Girl.
How it go? We know, but just real quick.
You understand, brown skin girl, your skin just like pearl, the best thing in the world. I never trade you for anybody else. And actually, I did that in my Guyanese accent, which is really cool because where I'm from, there's not enough people like me. There's not two examples of me. So I know when I'm outside and I raise my hand, I'm not just raising my hand for Brooklyn. So I make sure everybody, the representation is really, really clear, right? So I'd written for all of these people. I was writing for all of these people like before I had a major, major debut for myself. And the simplest way to put this, I stopped doing it not from frustration. I wasn't frustrated. The numbers ain't add up.
Okay, before you get to the business, can you just help us out? Because you speaking artist talk, athletes, how does that process work? Right, you write a song, you come up with something. Do you sit down and say, I'm gonna write something for Beyonce, and then you reach out to Beyonce, you pitch Beyonce? Do you sit down and say, you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna write this is dope,
might sound
and
good
then
with
you
Usher's voice
throw it in a
type thing or
database and
something.
people
Or
like,
did
oh,
you
this,
have to
like
learn
how
the
does
hard
that
way?
process work to write a song to get it to someone like Beyonce? Like, what's that process?
It would be like being a high school athlete.
I'll give you what I say.
It would be like that. Not being top tier high school athlete, because when you're the top tier, they're looking for you. When you're second, third, fourth, fifth, when you down in the numbers, they're not checking for you. But you got the same hopes and aspirations as the number one guy.
Right. Yeah.
Right. So it's kind of like that, where you're super passionate about something and you got to figure out by hook or by crook how to make it happen. There's a lot of different steps in between. So if you're asking me how you write a song for an artist, you can't.
I guess he's asking you how you get it to him. But
That's what I'm about to tell you. I'm gonna start with the
who
impossibility.
was the first one too? We want to know
Usher.
that.
It was Usher. The first person on a major
How
level
did you get it
was
to him?
Usher. I got it to Usher because it was relationships. I had a relationship. A friend of mine at a company walked my song into somebody I didn't know who was a music publisher. It's a publishing company. So let's think of publishers like agents. They broker the deals. It's not their money, but they got the relationships to talk to everybody with the money because they got a history of talking to the people with the money.
Relationship type.
And they got an eye for the talent. So publishers are like agents. If you see an agent that recognizes you early, you might be like, back in high school, and then there's an agent that goes, they're gonna be something. And they don't come propose no business with you. They just like, I like you, I believe in you. If you ever need some water or some advice, I'm a friend. So that's a publisher when you don't got no hit songs and you ain't a premier writer.
Right.
They ain't coming checking for your records, but they want to have a relationship just in case. Right? So a friend of mine at a company called BMI. I don't want to make it too,
exactly what
right? BMI is the people that collect the money from you. If you're making music, if you're making music on a successful level.
Hell, if you playing music, they coming to get the
Yeah, they
artist
come
money.
get it.
Oh my goodness.
So when you're in a Puma store and they circulating the songs throughout the store, they're playing it through the speakers, they're paying an organization, a performance rights organization that collects money on a commercial level in generic or public spaces on behalf of the artist.
Yep.
Right? So you playing in the Puma store and they play Roses, BMI on their ass. They like, y'all played it, y'all owe us 4 nickels. And enough 4 nickels could turn into $1 billion.
Right.
But the process to write a song and get it to somebody, it's not simple. There's no 101, there's no 101 to do that.
Did you write the song, so you wrote the song and said this is for Beyonce? Or did you write the song and you pass it to somebody and then that?
It could happen both ways. You want my story, you want the
your
possible
story. How did it
My
get to
story, I
Beyonce?
wrote
'Cause that's a big deal. She
Yeah.
is what?
She Beyonce. Let's say
Beyonce.
She Beyonce. Go.
So
Big deal.
I tried to write a song for Beyonce one time. I've only tried to write a Beyonce song one time. And I failed. It didn't work. I want you to know it didn't work. The one song I tried to write for Beyonce was Roses. On God, I raised my
It's
right hand. I
billion
swear to you.
streams?
Yeah, couple billion. It's a
Wait,
multi-billion.
hold up. So
He just tried to say.
you tried to write that for Beyonce?
I did.
And why it ain't work?
Yeah.
They didn't want the record.
Oh, they didn't want the record.
Yeah, it wasn't.
Is it her
Never
or is it
heard
like her?
I don't know. I didn't meet her at the
How
time.
roses go?
Roses. That's all niggas used to
Give us a little piece of it. Give us a little piece of it.
She said roses, thank you, B.
Just like that. On God, I tried to write it for her
that's
because
not-
at the time they told me she was working on whatever project she was working on prior to 2018, because I wrote Roses in probably 2015, maybe, or 2016, one of those years, right? They said she's looking for records or she's looking for ideas, and I was like, this.
Yeah.
I'm like this because in my mind, if she did this, it would be somewhere she hadn't gone before. When you're trying to write something for somebody, you're trying to write a script for an actor. I'm not writing Training Day for Denzel. He did Training Day. Why would he want to do it again?
Oh, right. He mastered that, yeah.
Right? I'm thinking of the movie he hasn't done, the movie he needs to do.
Right.
Where he's going next. Because if you're a great artist, every great artist thinks they have the ability to predict the future. That's what being a great artist is. So I thought I had the ability to predict the future. I'm like, if she does Roses, it's crazy. I had no vision for me doing Roses. That's not why I did it. That wasn't my point.
Dang.
And they passed.
So.
And I said, that's cool. I believe in it. I'm a bet on it.
Those couple billion
think she knows that,
streams
though?
brought in how much? Real money.
A couple billion streams.
One single.
What is that?
$10 million?
20.
See, but
yeah, 20
Hey,
cent on the
you think
dollar,
she know
ain't
that,
it?
though?
10,
I be thinking
who
about that
getting 20 cents on the dollar?
How much is it for you? What you in?
Oh, for my business? I had a 50-50 profit share agreement. That's how on Roses. On my business.
Off the dollar, what is that, 50
Yeah.
cent, you saying?
It's not a
Agent fee.
real 50 cent, right? Because we need to be in the details are important. It's not a real 50-50 on profit doesn't consider expenses.
Yeah. It's profit off, yeah.
Yeah,
Net
it's a profit split. So it ends up being on top
profit
of,
split, okay.
it ends up being disproportionate. It ends up being like I get 42% and they get 58% because they're also doing distributing the song.
right,
So there's a distribution fee that you don't know in the language that's tucked underneath.
That's
So
a lot better than a lot of artists.
So
though.
what's your stance on independent artists versus labels? Like, do you respect labels, you
Obviously he
appreciate
don't,
labels,
because he's
or
going
you saying independent all the way?
Why are you
Because
going
Nori was one of the ones that said actually respect labels in a way.
Yeah, but he just said earlier that he's finna do his own.
I know, but what's your thoughts on it?
I don't have a preference. It's your business model.
Because I heard
Take a
different
big
mixed emotions
loan.
on it.
Yeah,
Right.
Take a big loan because you didn't have the money to foot it yourself.
but you can't say that. But I'm gonna interrupt you right quick because.
I wasn't saying that. I was saying that like that was one of the options.
Oh, okay.
Like that's a label. That's
Right.
That's doing
Like
a
the good-
record
the
deal.
good in it.
My bad.
Yeah. No. I'm not suggesting it. It's about your business model. What is your business plan?
What you wanna do,
What would you
right,
like to
right.
see happen? Because when you do a record deal, all you're doing is borrowing money. Oftentimes you're borrowing money. Is living rich on borrowed money. You get that?
It's called
Right.
credit, bro. No, with you.
I mean, that's brilliant how they did that. The credit move is crazy. The credit move is crazy, right? But these living rich, it's not even credit, it's an expensive bank loan.
It's not worth it.
It's not worth it to artists. Everybody that makes music ain't an artist. If you pump out music as quickly as make socks, and it's thoughtless to you, I might love it. It might be great music. Art is a completely different thing. Art has a different consideration. Art has a different longevity to it. Art has a different gravity to it.
Passionate about art.
It's a whole other thing. So if you make art, that's a bad deal for you.
Okay, real quick. Top 5 artists real quick, because there's a difference. You keep saying
I
artists,
definitely
and
wanna
you
hear
see,
that.
I
Oh,
said,
top 5 artists?
I said project, rollout. He's like, no, art. It's different, like
Yeah, right.
art.
Jay, Kanye, Salvador Dali. Are you familiar with Dali? He's a painter.
See what I'm saying? Like he
Like, just
don't.
say, nah, that's real shit though. I
Okay,
like,
go.
right? Not even to be like
You see what I'm
crazy.
saying? You go. You deep, boy.
Boy, smart
I
as
think a
hell.
lot.
like,
Nah, I think a lot.
Goddamn, boy.
Yo, when you fail a lot, you think a lot.
I'm also doing
So
relationships.
that's 3. That was 3.
Yeah.
You hear me, B?
You throw Wayne in there.
We'll do that in relationships.
You want to do what?
Me and my girl in issues, I'm gonna talk to her like that. now baby, listen, like, you want to argue with me, but I don't want to argue with you. Let's be happy together. I'm taking that right there, you know what I mean?
No, that ain't how he be.
It's something like that.
You like that or you more like this? I'm telling you how he is. Let me tell you how it's gonna be. We're gonna do it like this. It's my way or the highway.
Nah, he ain't doing like that.
Watch, which way are you?
Definitely.
It's a combination, right? Because in truth, that's what I mean. But I can't propose it like that. I'd be dumb. It won't get to, it won't work.
I'm like this dude. He
Who
don't
going
want
for that?
No. The question is, tell me how that makes sense.
That don't make sense.
You just walk me through it. I'll do it if it makes sense. I'll do it if you just show me how it makes sense.
That's how you communicate to your ladies?
Not to my ladies. It's like no standard way. I'm brutally honest though.
See, that's what I'm telling you.
Yeah, I'm
different.
like,
I'm into that
brutally
too.
honest.
I'm
You
brutally
into-
honest too now.
I'm honest, like,
What
hey.
does brutally honest mean?
I say the uncomfortable truths. I'll name the names, like your girl or whoever the girl is in your life, or you want. She'd be like, well, who else? I'll tell you. You want to see pictures?
Oh.
I'll show you the pictures.
Hold up, wait, time out.
Oh, you're
Hey,
shady.
coach,
honest.
time out, coach. Hold up.
But I'm not
He's
doing
the
that.
opposite of shady.
Our quarterback getting crazy, hold on. The quarterback got his own plays, hold up.
Just don't ask me no more questions now.
I want you and your friend. Which friend? I got pictures. Like,
Hold on,
coach,
but this
hold
is
on.
a great conversation. You know why?
Quarterback getting crazy.
When we just talked to Joe Budden, he was saying, you athletes are different. And he specifically said, us rapping artists,
We making
after everything.
we
Like
making
the Wild Wild West.
we making words up right now though. Let's get back to the music.
What'd he say?
Some water. Some old shit. Yo, I'm done. Look. Wait, before we get too crazy though, right? Look, we can't let his words and how he articulates himself. We gotta stay where we at.
No more wine.
Sorry about that.
No more wine.
That's what I do want to say though. Yo, you never talked about. You never really talked about like how you really got into music.
Oh, my
You
brother
never
was a
really
rapper.
talked about that.
My brother was a rapper. That's not that interesting a story. Nah, but
The journey is always
look,
interesting,
I forget, right? Listen. In truth, we're at the beginning, so we're gonna come back in 2 years, a year, 5 years, 10 years, and it's gonna be even more interesting. The story continues to get compelling. So what I've already endured, I endured that to be at stage one. I feel like a rookie, like I just got here. I really feel like that. I feel like, damn, I ain't even do nothing yet. I go to bed mad.
Right.
I feel like nothing's happened. Like I know I put points on the board, but none of it matters. What I want to do hasn't happened yet. So I think of whatever journey was just a prep journey. There's gonna be hardships I don't even know how to weather.
Right.
Right? So, but my brother was a rapper, and I started super young. I was like 11 or 12 years old, and he was rapping. He was just on the corner in a cypher, and I didn't really know what that was at the time, but I was just impressed with it. Because, you know, in the cypher.
It's your older brother?
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, my older brother.
Okay.
Everything just looked impressive.
Right.
And he's just dictating the crowd, dictating the emotion of the crowd with words, it's language. So I fell in love with language really, really early, right? And my mom used to make us read books, but this is junior high school, bro. My brilliance I can't hold on to it from men, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was like,
Tupac's mom made him read the newspaper every day. His mom made him read books. So that's where it came from, the smartness.
yeah, but that's only like 12
come
to
on.
14, and now I tapped out.
All right, look. Rihanna, I'm gonna get back to some of these other songs you know, artists you wrote for, or not everybody's an artist. Rihanna, why didn't that one make it? You wrote for Rihanna, but that one didn't make it. Yeah. Why?
Yeah, she ain't put out the album since the baby. Yeah. I mean, artists on their own time. All artists on their own time. So sometimes it don't work and you don't know
Is
why.
it a hit?
Yeah, I'm only interested in that. I'm sure she's only interested in that too.
Your dream collab. I feel like you gotta ask every artist that. Dream collab.
I mean, my first thought is Jay, right? For real, my first thought is Jay.
Damn, you was just with Jay.
Nah, but we don't got no records together that's out.
I know, but he said whatever you wanna do, we can do. You could have in the
I was
moment
with
instead of
Tata.
saying,
No,
I
I was with
you could have
Tata.
said,
Tata,
let's
his
do
main man.
I was with Tata. Jay gotta say that.
Okay.
No man can speak for another man. Jay gotta say that. Jay gotta be like, yo, whatever record you wanna do, we could do. And I'm well aware, I watched the Rockefeller documentary in real time.
Right.
So I know the value of a Jay verse, and I know the value of not asking for something that you earn. That's how that works. You don't have to ask for a verse from your superheroes. When you become a superhero, they're gonna notice you in the newspaper.
Yep.
They won't fly too.
It happens, yeah.
It'll happen.
Yeah.
So you
It
like to
happens.
speak things into existence. So
Kanye
when
West,
is the
prime
Jay-Z
example.
collab coming?
Damn, it's crazy because you got to know your sense of timing. I think it'll probably in the next 12 months.
Y'all heard
That's
it here
big.
first. The gummy line of cannabis, I'm really into cannabis. Got a line coming out. Shout out to Cookies and Burners.
Oh,
We
fire.
Trace.
That's right, that's
In
right.
the next 30 days, we're gonna be. So tell us about the,
My boy's Flowers.
you know what I'm saying? Tell us about the gummy lines, or
That's not even the
Lost
one. That's
Farm?
just the brand that I have the relationship with.
That's
So
not-
it's
that's your
Lost
brand?
Farms and Kiva.
Is that yours?
That's not mine. That's
Oh,
just this.
that's not his.
I bust mine down on a plane. I ran out of mine. Mine looked just like that though. with
What's the
sexier
name of yours?
packaging.
If you don't mind us, so we can say. You know?
No, it's the same brand. So I have a collaboration with Lost Farms Kiva, and we made a line of edibles just for me. So packaging, my design,
Sold out
the
quick.
flavors, my choice, off the shelf. It's gone.
So
It's
like
gone.
at
Dropped it
your
and it
show,
sold out quick, didn't it?
But look, at your shows,
I'm
right?
the
do
number
you-
2 SKU. What that means, I'm their number 2 product. We only been in business together for like 4 months.
Oh wow, so they rocking with you. But do you pass that out like at your shows and all that?
Nah, I get sued.
You get sued.
Hell yeah, that's crazy.
Oh, you can't do that?
Hell no.
You passing out shirts? Yo, wear my shirt.
Most defining moment for you? I think every artist, athlete that made it to the top
That's a great
of
question,
their
bro.
game
Oof.
had that. I can go back and say, yo, there was that moment right there. Just like I said earlier, remember in business, I said this is a defining moment in business. As an athlete, it was a defining moment. It was in college. Never forget it. You know what I'm saying? What was the most defining moment for you?
Actually, I think the most defining moment, I wrote a record for Usher. The song came out. Let's say at the time the song streamed 70 million streams. And if you never did nothing before, like that's a lot. Look,
Hell yeah.
that's a lot.
That's a lot.
That's
yeah.
not $70 million.
No, I'm just
we
saying
understand the percent,
70
42%.
million
we
streams
good
is a
with
lot
numbers.
though.
The hell
I'm just saying
yeah.
that's a lot of streams, bro.
Correct.
Okay.
And I wrote the song.
Guess he got a billion, so it's like,
No, but this is the time I wrote the song. And here's the mathematics. 70 million streams. If I own 20% of the song or 25% of the song, and it did 70 million streams, and it's $3,000 per million stream. So it's 3,000 times 70.
right.
So $210,000. I sound really smart. I'm not that good at math, but that worked out.
That was
for me.
easy.
That's
That was
easy.
easy.
I caught that.
Oh, no, you ain't credit for that. Hold up. You ain't credit for that. That's an easy one.
That
Like,
was
hold
an
up.
easy one.
Yeah, but come on, why he acting like he ain't go to school though?
I
Like,
didn't.
this
Mama
is-
had him reading books.
Yeah.
Biggie Smalls' mama
Shady,
had
we
a
gamble,
teacher.
so we're really good
Tupac's
with
mama
numbers,
had
though.
him read newspapers.
Right.
You see where I'm going with this?
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Okay, go ahead.
So $210,000, right? Like at the time. It's math. It has to be math. It has to, the numbers gotta make sense. And I wrote the song, and it's 25% of the song, and I'm waiting on the song for 2 years. Let's say it's 2 years it took from inception, meaning when I wrote it, to finally getting it to him, to putting it out. And I controlled 25% of that. But based on the royalty rate that Spotify pays the publishers, this is a slightly complicated conversation in this part. Spotify collects the streams, and then they pay the publishers because I wrote the song, so I deal with publishing money. There's 2 types of money in records for people that don't know. There's publishing money, that's writing, and then there's performance money, performing it. You're the artist, you're the one that said the words, it was your voice.
But that's not you though.
It wasn't my
You
words.
just a publisher.
It wasn't, yeah,
got
it
you.
wasn't my
I got
voice. So I'm just on the publishing side. There's a fixed percentage on the publishing side based on the relationship between Spotify and the music publishers. I'm doing it so you almost can see it like it's 3D. Spotify or the distributors, DSPs, pay the music publisher based on an agreed rate. So that $210,000 that song made had to be bust down. My take on that 210, my take home was probably $1,500. And I went, this is how the math worked. It was this simple. Look, it was this simple. If I'd have put that song out myself and only had 3 million streams, I'd have made $10,000. I said, I'm done. I washed my hands. I was like, this is dumb. You know how hard it is to get these songs on these people who put it out on their own time? The artists who have their own vision for it? For you to wait, for your livelihood to be dependent on somebody else that you don't control or influence, impact, or have a relationship with, and it's not even your worth, you're not even getting paid your weight in salt, walk.
Yeah.
Go bet on yourself. So I just bet on myself. So I stopped giving records to artists. I'm like, I could give you this record and you could fail and I can get a percentage of your failure, or I could take 100% of my failure and I could take that to the bank.
Right.
I could do something with my failure. I can't do nothing with yours.
So why do everybody be like bragging about ghostwriters? Like what?
Like being a ghostwriter?
Yeah, it's like you not even get no money for real.
You gotta think that the people don't have the people that don't got the capacity to do it themselves, they gotta do, the second option is best than no option.
Yeah, right.
I'd rather be a ghostwriter than not be involved. I didn't want to be a writer. It wasn't like I was trying to be a writer. That happened because that was my only way in. That was a backdoor. That was me being in the cater. I'm the caterer.
I got you.
Trying to steal the jewels.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Do the artists ever pay? Because I always heard like the artists may pay the ghostwriter or the publisher.
They might pay them an upfront fee.
Okay.
If you big
They
like
have to keep them?
if you have that,
That's what I was finna
if you have that leverage or that catalog or that repertoire and that reputation, that resume, then you might be able to demand, look, on top of, I'm not waiting for this money that's coming. Let me get 30, let me get 40, let me get 20, let me get 50, let me get 100. That's
You there
not,
yet?
I'm not even giving records.
That's
You can't even give a
Rihanna
record.
something ain't come out.
It's different. You giving Rihanna a record is like just walking yourself into the MoMA, waiting for them to show you, put your face on the wall.
Right.
Like that just makes sense.
So different names. So like a Rihanna, Kanye, or Jay, you would do that.
Yeah, because you're betting on a different product.
I get that.
For me, my personal take, if you are gonna write songs for people, then you should write songs for the people that you wanna hear sing them.
Okay.
And money is great, but that can be secondary if you're fulfilling some other part of you.
Right.
Right? So if I'm giving,
So
if you're the
I
right
get
person for the song, and I wrote it, and you are the right person for the song, because I'm really an artist, I'm gonna bypass the money. That can't be the most important thing. I gotta do the right thing with the art. I gotta go, no, it's not for me. They gotta deliver it. When I did Brown Skin Girl, it wasn't for me to deliver. I was aware that. Tata was the first person I sent it to. I was like, yo, you should hear this. I sent
See,
it
now
to
that's what I was asking, Pac. Now he get to it. I said, how you get
yeah,
so
oh,
you
this
to
is-
Beyonce?
Yeah.
No, but here, check this. Brown Skin Girl is in the future. I'm already in motion. It ain't pre-collection one. It's not pre-2018. Brown Skin Girl came out 2020,
Yeah.
right? Something like that.
Yep.
At that point, my relationships were as they were. I was already in the world as an artist. Like, I was already touring the world. I'd already made an impression or some small indentation. So my relationships had firmed up.
Yeah.
And I've known Tata since 2018, maybe 2017.
Brooklyn cat too though.
When we met, I'll save you a story. We gonna have to do this 3 more times, right?
Yeah, facts.
So when I met Tata and I played him Collection 1 and I played him another project called Violence and Civilians, because God Complex, I had a group that I was gonna put out right after Collection 1. So I was gonna put out my group called God Complex that we had put together. I met Tata because my man James Samuel, who directed a movie called The Harder They Fall. It's an all-black cast and it's brilliant. And if you haven't seen it, you have to see it. And I'm not pump faking because I'm not good at that. It came out last year on Netflix. Y'all ain't see it?
What's the name of it?
The Harder They Fall.
No, I haven't
Every
seen it.
black magic actor, performer was in it. You're gonna know what you'll be
But
like,
you
no, I
said
think I know what you're
Netflix, what'd you
talking
say?
about. It's a Western, it's a black Western,
Yeah. Oh no, I seen it. Yeah.
right? So my man directed that, and in 2018, he's a brilliant artist, he's a brilliant creative, right? And I was playing records for him and I played Roses for him. It had just come out. And he said, I'm about to do it. I said, what? It's funny when it's your people, you know what they talking about, but you still want them to say it.
Right.
Like one time,
Like what? You know what he said, but
What?
what?
Say I'm
Well,
about
what?
to take it.
I'm like, do what? He's like, do you want me to, I'm about to send it. I knew what he was talking about.
Send what?
I was like, send what? Right? I'm playing again.
I do that too.
I'm like, send what? He was like, you know what I'm about to do. Should I press send? I said, press send.
Okay.
He's emailing Jay.
Oh man.
He's sending Jay roses. I don't know what he talking about. I know what he talking about though.
Right,
I'm like,
right.
send it.
Yeah.
So he sends
Now.
it, and Jay hits him back like really soon, shortly after that. I don't want to exaggerate. Maybe it was like 20 minutes. We were still in the car. And he said, he had me at Brooklyn. So I said, I might bring the Brooklyn out in the 3rd verse of the bridge part. He said, get him to New York. I was in LA at the time. I just happened to be in LA. He didn't know I was from New York. So I just flew home and I linked up with, I sat down with everybody at Rock Nation at the time. So Tata, Beehive, Shaka,
The crew.
everybody, the whole floor, the entire staff, everybody. It was so respectful. I'm really appreciative to this day. It was so respectful. Tata was like, everybody stop what they doing, the assistants, everybody, come listen to this. And we sat down in a room and I played a bunch of records from Collection 1, like Selfish and Roses, and then other unreleased records. And I was telling him how I saw my plan. I told him about my 5-year plan.
5-year plan.
I said, well, this is my 5-year plan. I'm gonna put this out, and then I'm gonna put this out, and then I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna put this out. And in 24 months, I'm gonna do this. And by the 36th month, we should have a hit record, right? Based on the plan.
That's
it was a
big
real
deal
plan.
nowadays. They want you to come in, ain't no A&R, you gotta come with the
You gotta
plan.
know, it's you.
So how you do business with Jay and Rock Nation now?
I didn't. We ain't
Why?
doing nothing.
Why?
It wasn't the right thing at the right time.
Y'all still talk?
Yeah, we all got a great relationship.
But why you don't do business with Jay? Like,
I think everybody that you got a great relationship with ain't somebody you gotta do business with.
That's true too.
And sometimes you just
And
wait
it's
on
timing
the right,
too, though.
The timing is the most important thing.
Yeah.
Because at the time, Tata was like, yo, whatever you want to do, we want to do. So if you want to do management, we're down to do management. You want to do publishing, we want to do publishing. You want to do sign to the label, we can do that. I said, look, I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't want to do nothing. I want to do it myself. I said that and I meant it. I'm like, I just want to do it myself. It's cool. When I feel like I really need you, I'm gonna come ask for help. I'm not too shy to ask for help. But I think I know what I'm doing, so I'm gonna go do it.
right decision?
That's big.
Greatest decision, you don't see me?
We had to fight to get a meal. Yeah, wrongfully accused. We had to fight to get appeals. That's why we right to get a deal. He on the team, he gotta eat, you know. Despite your skills, keep it riding for the fam. You gotta light the wheels straight up. But in the past bad, work up in the trash bag. I'll pass a lot to take the test before I pass class. And my family needed bread, I had to come correct. That's why I keep airing it out like I just passed